Hello friends, welcome to Cozy Knots, and today I am starting my new project, that is a shrug. So let me just introduce you how the layout of this shrug will be. So this is a panel that I have made, and there are total 8 panels that you have to make, and 4 panels are for the armhole. Okay, this is the armhole that you can see over here, and 4 panels will be made for the neckline that we will connect later, and so 8 panels are there which will ultimately form the shrug. The length of the panels that I have kept is 25 inches, so the armhole is around 6 inches and the neck is around 4 inches. You can change it according to your dimensions that you require, and this is a very easy pattern and it's quite flexible, so you can make changes according to your requirements in this one. Let's discuss the materials that were used in this shrug. I used 100 gram 350 meter light cotton yarn, and 4 skeins were used in total for making this shrug. For crocheting, I used 2.55 mm hook, and this resulted into a 5-inch wide panel. Each panel turned out 5-inch wide, so there were 8 panels, and together the final size of the shrug was 40 inches from chest. I used this wide-eyed needle for sewing in all the panels together and also the loose ends. Okay, for decorative purposes, I have used these pearls which I used in the front part of the shrug and also at the bottom edge. These are some ready-made tassels that I used for decorative purpose. You can make your own, or you can also attach something other than this if you wish. So friends, let's start with our design. Before that, I would request you to please like and subscribe my channel and give me your support. That will really help me grow on the social media. Okay, so this pattern initially you just have to start in a different way, but later on it becomes quite repetitive. So it's very easy to work in and also a quick pattern. So let's make a magic ring and then 3 chain. After the 3 chain, we are going to make 24 double crochet inside the magic ring. So here we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. So we have made 24 double crochet in the magic ring. Let's just tighten it, and then we will just put slip stitch in the third a chain and our circle is made. Okay, now 1, 2 and 3 chain. So here we have made 3 chain. So in the next 2 stitches we are going to make 1 DC each. So 1 DC and then second DC here. Now we'll take chain 2 and then in the next stitch again 1 DC, 1 DC in the next one, and again 1 DC in the next one. That is 3 DC we have taken. You can see it. Now again 2 chain. After the 2 chain, again 3 DC in each of the next 3 stitches. So we have one loop here and the other loop here, chain 2 loop. Now again chain 2 and same thing, 3 DC in the next 3 stitches. So I can show you the work. We did 3 chain and then 2 DC and 2 chain, then 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC. So we have 1, 2 and 3 2 chain loops now. Okay, so in the next row we will take 1, 2, 3 and turn. So now we have turned, and here we are going to again start with our next DC. So 1 DC in the chain 2 loop and second DC, third DC, now chain 2, again 3 DC in the same loop. This is one shell. This is one shell of 3 DC, 2 chain and 3 DC. I will show you the work. So here 3 chain and then 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC. This is called one shell, and I'm going to say one shell now onwards. So you have to understand that is 3 DC, 2 chain and 3 DC. So in the next one, after taking 2 chain, we will again do 3 DC, 2 chain, that is one shell in this loop. Okay, now again 2 chain and one shell in the last chain 2 loop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so now we have 3 shells in this row. Again we will take chain 3, 1, 2 and 3 and turn. Now next row, again we are going to take one shell, chain 3, then one shell in the first to chain 2 loop. So now onwards, every time this is what we will do when we turn, and in the end this same shell will be repeated throughout the pattern. So 3 chain and then a shell in the first loop. Okay, now chain 2, and then in this center loop we are going to start our design. So here we will take one shell first, same as before, 3 DC, 2 chain, and then 3 DC. Okay, and then again 2 chain here and 3 DC in the same loop. Two and 3. Okay, now 2 chain and once more 1 shell in the last loop, which we will repeat throughout. So this is what we have now made. In the center now there are chain 2 loops twice. So again we will turn our work 1, 2 and 3 and turn. And as I told you, we'll make a shell in the first one. Chain 2, 3 DC. Now again chain 2, and in the center where we have the loops here, we will make 1 shell here and 1 shell here, with of course chain 2 in between. So sorry. Okay, so this is first shell that I am making in the first chain 2 loop. You can see first shell is made. Again chain 2, another shell in the next chain 2 loop. Chain 2 and then the last shell in the last loop. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. So you can see the work now. Here we have 1 shell here, chain 2, 1 shell, chain 2, 1 shell, chain 2, 1 shell. So in between we are expanding our work, and here this is going to remain same all the time. Again 1, 2, 3 and turn your work. Shell in the first loop, 2 DC, 3 DC, chain 2, 1 DC, 2 and 3, and again we'll take 1 single chain this time. So here we are going to start working our leaf. So here we are going to make 9 DC in the first chain 2 loop in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, 9 and then again chain 1. And again in the next chain 2 loop we are going to now after chain 1 we are going to make 1 shell in between. And 3 and this shell will have only one chain. So at this stage we are using only one chain in between spaces. So chain 1 and again 3DC. Okay, so this is chain 3DC, one chain, 3DC, again chain 1 and then 9DC in the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here we have made 9 DC. Now again chain 1 and the usual shell in the last one. 2, 3, 2 chain and again 3 DC. Okay, so here in this stage what we did, the regular 3 chain turn, one shell with 2 chains in between here, but then again we started here with 1 chain, 9 DC, 1 chain, 3 DC, 1 chain, 3 DC, 1 chain, 9 DC, 1 chain and the regular shell here. So again we will turn our work 1, 2 and 3. Starting with the regular shell, 1, 2, 3 and then 2 chain, 1 DC, 2 DC and the third DC. Now again chain 1 and we are going to work out 9 DC on top of these 9 DC that we worked in the previous row. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Again 1 chain and then we are going to work the same shell in between here, that is 3 DC, 1 chain and 3 DC. 1, 2, 3, 1 chain, 3 DC, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now chain 1 again and 9 DC on the previous 9 DC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. One chain and the regular shell. 1, 2, 3, 2 chain, 1, 2, 3. So let's just revise this one. So 3 chain for turning, 1 shell, then 1 chain, 9 DC on the previous 9 DC, 1 chain, 1 shell with 1 chain in between of the previous shell, and 1 chain and 9 DC on the previous 9 DC, again 1 chain, and then the last shell of 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC. So this is the end of this row. Now again we will take 3 chain to turn our work, turn around, 1 shell in the first shell, that is 3 DC, 2 chain and 3 DC. Okay, now 2 chain, and we will now start reducing the number of DC in this. So last we had 9 DC, now we will have 7 DC. One. So we will leave the first one and start working in the second one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are 7 DC that we have worked. We will leave the last one, chain 2, and in the chain 1 space we will make 1 shell, 3 DC, 3, 2 chain, again 3 DC, 2, 3, and then again 2 chain and 3 DC in the same loop, 2 and 3. This is what we did here. Okay, you can see the same thing now will be repeated all the time. So again 2 chain, and then we will reduce to 7 DC here. So leave 1 DC and work in the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the first and last DC we are skipping. Now 2 chain and then shell in the end row. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2 and 3. So this row is complete. Let me just repeat what we did here. So we are basically going to shape the leaf here, and the leaf shape will get reduced. So first 3 chain to turn, 1 shell, 2 chain, 7 DC, skipping the first and the last DC in the previous row. In the center we made 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC, 2 chain and 3 DC in the center loop, and then again we made 7 DC and 2 chain and 1 shell. Now let's make the 3 turning chain. 1, 2, 3, and shell in the first one. 1, 2, 3, 2 chain and 1, 2, 3. Now again 2 chain. We will reduce the number of DCs again from 7 to 5 this time. So first and the last one we will skip. So we will skip the first DC and work in the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 5 we have made. 2 chain And now again we have this shape here, so we will work one shell here and one shell in the next loop. So in the center again we will have two shells. Two, three, two chain and 3 DC again. 1, 2, 3, 2 chain. Now one more shell in this loop. 1, 2, 3, 2 chain. 1, 2, 3. So 2 shells we have made in this central part. Now 2 chain, and again we will reduce to 5 DC in the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2 chain and a shell in the last loop. 3, 2 chain and again 3 DC. 1, 2 and 3. So again we will turn, and you can see here the shape of the bottom panel is now forming, and this will just go like straight. It will go straight now onwards. So here these leaves will end and a new leaf will come out from this side. So this is how it is a repetitive pattern from now onwards, but I will show you 2-3 more rows till this leaf gets over, so that you get the idea. So again 1, 2, 3, turn, work the shell in the first loop. Do let me know in the comments, how did you start crocheting, and how many years you have been crocheting, who taught you crocheting. It's quite interesting to know about other people. 1, 2 and 3. And if you like the pattern, please share with your friends and also subscribe to my channel. 2 chain. Now again we will reduce to 3 DC this time. 1, 2 and 3. 2 chain, and in this center, okay, this side, sorry, I am so sorry. Now we will take only 1 chain over here, as we did in the previous one here, and we are going to make 9 DC now. So this same row is going to be repeated over here. So it is 3 DC, 1 chain and 9 DC in this loop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 1 chain and a shell in between. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we are working the shell here in between. 3 DC, 1 chain and 3 DC again. 1, 2 and 3. 1 chain and 9 DC in this chain 2 loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. One chain, and we will reduce this one to 3 DC. We will skip first and the last DC in the previous row. 1, 2 and 3. Now chain 1 and a regular shell. 1, 2, 3, 2 DC, 2 chain, and again 3 DC. 1, 2, 3. So friends, now you can see that here 3 turning chain, 1 shell, then 1 chain, 3 DC, 1 chain, 9 DC in the loop, 1 chain, a shell in between with 1 chain in between. So 3 DC, 1 chain, 3 DC, 1 chain, 9 DC, and then again we reduce 1 chain, 3 DC, 1 chain and regular shell. So we are about to finish our first leaf pattern over here. Again we will take 1, 2 and 3 and turn, make the shell here. 2, 3. So I was able to finish 1 panel each day. So I finished 8 panels in 8 days. That was how I used to finish the panels, and that was the speed I maintained. So every day only 1 panel I used to do, and it used to take around 3.5 hours or up to 4 sometime to finish 1 panel. And now I am taking chain 1, yarn over, and 1 DC in the center of the last 3 DC. Okay, so this is the tip of our leaf. You can see the formation of the leaf. 1 chain and 9 DC over the 9 DCs in the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 1 chain, again the same shell in between with 3 DC, 1 chain and 3 DC. So 2, 3 DC, 1 chain and 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1. Now again in the last one we are going to do 9 DC on the 9 DC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Chain 1, 1 DC in the center of the 3 DC of the previous row, chain 1 and one shell in the last one, 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC. So with this, now onwards you are only going to repeat the same pattern, and this is basically the end of one leaf here, and the next leaf is starting over here. You can see this, right? 1, 2, 3. So here goes the shell. 1, 2, 3, 2 chain, 1, 2, 3, now 2 chain, and we are going to skip this whole thing. The leaf has ended here, so directly we are going to go and we are going to skip the first DC and make 7 DC on the previous 9 DCs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we made this 7. Now we have to make chain 3 3D. First we have to take chain 2 here, and then 3 DC, 1, 2, 3, 2 chain, 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC, 2 chain, 7 DC over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 2 chain. Now we will directly go and make a shell over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3. So the shell is complete over here. So dear friends, don't be confused. It's a very easy pattern, and you can see here one leaf has ended, and now we are going ahead with a new leaf here, and then here this same place a new leaf will start coming out here, and this will end, and meanwhile that leaf will be halfway. So you only have to repeat this pattern again and again now. So friends, this is the sample I have made. Now supposing you have worked till 9 leaf here, 9 double leaves here, then for armhole I started reducing at the 10th leaf. So that was my 6 inches of armhole. So here what we will do is we will just end our work over here. So first you have to complete your work till till this leaf ends. Okay, and now next what we are going to do is start working here. So 1, 2 and 3. Now we turn the work and then work the same pattern, that is the shell in the first loop. 2, 3, 1, 2 chain, and again 3 DC, 2 and 3. Now 2 chain, and we will skip this one as usual, and then in the next 9 that we have, we are going to work 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we worked 7 DC or above the 9. We left first and the last one, and now 2 chain and 1 shell in the center. 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So we have worked till the center now, and from here we are going to turn around. So this will be our armhole here. So 1, 2, 3, and turn the work, and again one shell in the first shell, 2, 3, and 2 chain, 1, 2, 3, 2 chain, and we will work 5 in the previous 7 DC, skipping the first and the last one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again 2 chain and shell in the last one. Two and 3. Again 3 chain for turning, and you can see that we have left one leaf here and we are shaping this one. First shell, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2. So friends, you can see that I have finished this leaf, and this is the side of the armhole that is round now. So this leaf is finished till here. Now I have turned the work with chain 3, and then again we are going to work forward. So again chain 3 and one shell in the first loop. Three DC, 2 chain, and 3 DC. Again 2 chain, and then directly in the last shell we are going to make the 1, 2, 3, 2 chain, and 3 DC shell. And this is how we keep completing till we get our desired depth of the armhole. So 3 chain, turn your work, and again 1, 2, 3 DC, 2 chain, 3 DC, 2 chain, and a shell over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. So this is how you will just give the depth to your armhole, and it can be your desired depth. You just continue this 1 shell, 2 chain, 1 shell, and then you will get the proper shape. I can show you in my shrug that I have. So here we have finished one leaf over here, and then I have given a depth with this one. Okay, so I have basically done 10 only shell and DCs here. These are 10. Okay, so So with this I achieved the depth that I needed for my armhole. You can also do the same. So you just finish your double leaf here. This is the 9th leaf, both of them, and then you can finish one leaf, and then this will be the 49th row, and after that you can go for 10 rows. And similarly in the neck, what I have done is I did not need this much depth, and that's why I have only done 6 rows over here. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 rows over here. So this is basically the 10th leaf, both of them finished on one leaf, and then 6 rows, and this gave me the 4-inch depth for my neck. So friends, as you can see, I have already connected this panel, both the panels, and I have already connected all the other panels also. And this panel I am connecting the front side. So I am also adding pearls in this one, and I'll show you how I am connecting the panels. So basically you just have to connect the main loops of the design. You don't need to go through each and every stitch and connect it. So we are just going to connect the main loops. So from one side we will just pass the thread. I will just pass the thread from here till here. Okay, so I am on the next tip of the design, and I will just take the other tip, connect it, and give it a knot. And I am putting the pearl alternatively. So on this tip there is no pearl. Now I will go from this side. So again here I will just pass the thread, and we have to pass the thread very loosely so that there is no compression in the design. Okay, and now again I am in the next step. I will again connect to the next loop, give it a knot. So here I have made a knot. You can see it's very easy. And now again I am going to add one pearl here, because I am alternatively adding the pearl. So I am adding the pearl after giving the knot. Now again I will go through. You can see that you won't see any thread or any difference here. It's just like a one unit now. All the panels are connected. Now that all my panels are assembled, I have also joined all the shoulders together. So it is time to give a finishing touch to the neck and the armhole. So neck I have already done over here, as you can see, an edging has been given up there. Similarly for the armhole also I have done this. Now for the other armhole it is left, and I thought I should show it to you how it is to be done. So first we will connect our thread with a loop to one of the loops in the shell, and then we start by 1 2 and 3 chain, and we will do 5 DCs. We will work 5 DCs in this loop. 3 4 and 5. So here I have counted the 3 DC as the starting, 3 chain as the starting DC. So here 3 chain and 4 DC I have worked in this loop. Now let's yarn over, and then in the end of this leaf, this single DC, we will work 5 DC again. 1 2 3 4 5. Now in this 9 chain we will work in the 1 2 3 third chain, 5 DC again here. 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, and now again in the last third. So judging by the distance, you can complete the whole armhole and the neckline in this same manner. Again in this 3DC center. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now again we will go in this loop. Now we will always get this loop, so wherever the loop is there, I am just working 5DC inside the loop itself. Now our loops are over. Again we are going to work on the design part that we initially worked. So again we will work in the central part of the 3 DC, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now 1, we are working in the third DC of the 9 DCs. 4 and 5. You can see that here and 1 here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we are back again to the 1 DC of the leaf, tip of the leaf on the side of the armhole. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 again. So we are coming to the end now. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we will just give a slip stitch to the first stitch that we made, top of the third chain, and we are done. Okay, so friends, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you found it useful, and as you can see, the whole shrug is ready and it looks very beautiful. And this is the ready size of 40 inches from the chest. If you want to reduce this size of the shrug, what you can do is make 2 by 2 DC over here. This shell needs to be reduced to 2 DC, 2 chain, 2 DC. Or alternatively, you need to reduce the size of your yarn and hook. That is also one way. But normally this is how it is done. There are 8 panels that need to be made for this, and this turns out very, very beautiful. And one pro tip I would like to give you is that after completing your work, spray some water and iron it carefully, and that really gives a very good look to the shrug. Like for example, this is how it looks before ironing, right? So after ironing, it looks very beautiful. Your design settles down and becomes very uniform. You can also add a button over here. I have only added the pearl, which goes very easily in the shell loop, so that also holds it nicely. So I've also put tassels around it at the bottom, and you also can do that. It looks very nice with this, and this can be worn on any outfit. So thank you so much for watching my video, and do let me know in the comments how you found it, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.